Okay guys, we are going to be doing something a little different today. If you guys haven't noticed based on the video title and the thumbnail, today we are shiny hunting Charmander from Generation 2. Now the reason why we're going to go after this Pokemon is because first off, when you get this Pokemon and transfer it up through the generations, they get a little Gameboy Mark. And that Game Boy Mark signifies that this Pokemon came from an original cartridge or came from a Gen 1 or Gen 2 based game. Now, interestingly enough, as you guys know, I am huge into the retro games. I replace all the batteries myself, I solder them in, and then of course I have a bunch of modded Game Boy Colors, Game Boys, Game Boy Pockets, Game Boy Advances, the whole 9 yards. I'm big into the original Pokemon series. Now today, just to show you guys here, I'm going to disconnect this device that I'm using. Today I am going to be using the Analog Pocket. Now the Analog Pocket basically allows you to play original Game Boy cartridges. And that's exactly what we're doing here. We're using an original Pokemon Crystal Cartridge in order to shiny hunt. So we're going to pop this back on the dock. This is going to allow me to use a controller. This is going to allow me to output my audio and video over HDMI. And we're going to have a good old time. Now, when we actually do get our Pokemon Crystal, and Charmander in Pokemon Crystal, we're then going to be using a device called the Game Boy Operator. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but we're going to be using the Game Boy Operator. And this device allows me to hook up the game cartridge to the computer, and this is going to allow me to then get the game save off, so that way I can inject it into the Virtual Console game on the 3DS. That way I can transfer it through with Pokemon Bank, Pokemon Transporter to Bank, and then of course Bank to Home. My end goal is I want to see how long it will take me in order to get Shiny Charmander to evolve into Shiny Charizard, and then I want to get the Max Mushrooms in Pokemon Sword and Shield, so that way we can Gigantamax the Charizard that we receive. And then, of course, we also want to move it over to Scarlet and Violet, where we're going to then give it a different Terra typing than just plain Fire. Now, I know what you're thinking, Corey. Why are you doing all this? Well, you know, I know you guys know I do a lot of competitive play. I have a couple of methods in order to get my Pokemon, but shiny hunting is one of those things that I tend to fall asleep in. I don't normally actually spend all the time to do all the shiny hunting. So what ends up happening is that I do a lot of battles and stuff, and I wanted to bring something different to the channel, something that will basically allow me to appreciate the value of these shiny Pokemon a lot more than I currently do. Plus, I'm also going to be trying to get a living dex for competitive movesets again for Generation 9. When I do any kind of streams or anything like that, or if let's say I do any kind of competitive, I like to battle with multiple Pokemon of different stages. For example, stage 1's right up to the final stages, or alternate versions or variations. I want to be able to battle with all Pokemon again, and this is one of the steps that's going to help me do that. So I'm going to go through, we're going to try to hatch a shiny Charmander. So in order to do this shiny hunt, there was a couple of things that we had to do. So I actually ended up using 2 of my Katsukity capture cards. So I have 2 3DSs that I have for Katsukity, and it allows me to output my audio and video over USB. Now, I ended up using these because it was the best and easiest way to trade while I wasn't at home. I didn't want to take the Game Boys and then link cable. It was just too much work. But what we had to do in Pokemon Crystal, Gold, and Silver, there is one shiny Pokemon that you get by default, and that shiny Pokemon is Gyarados from Lake of Rage. Now, in order to shiny hunt all Pokemon, we needed a shiny Ditto, and to do this, we actually had to take our shiny Gyarados, delete all of the moves except for one, so we left Bite on our Gyarados. Okay, I'm going to pull this up here so you guys can see. So, oh, we don't have Gyarados in here, but anyway, we had to teach Gyarados Mimic in Pokemon Red. So we actually had to trade our Gyarados over to Pokemon Red. And then we taught it Mimic with TM31, and then we went out to find a Ditto in Cerulean Cave. Now, why is this important? When we have Gyarados into Cerulean Cave and we allow Ditto to transform into it, what that's going to allow it to do is to copy the DVs of the Gyarados. And in this generation, DVs and IVs are what control your shininess of your Pokemon. So when we caught a Ditto, after we actually went through the process, we were able to trade Ditto and Gyarados back to our Pokemon Crystal game, and lucky, as you guys can see here, we have an actual shiny Ditto. So that's what we've got here. We also have a female Charmander that we're going to be breeding here today, and I've been told that the process is extremely lengthy in Generation 2. Now, the values in Generation 2, to my understanding, are 1 in 8,192. By going with a breeding method with either Ditto or even Gyarados to whatever egg group you want to use it with, you can actually cut down the numbers to about 1 to 64. So every 1 out of 64 should theoretically be a shiny egg. So that's what we're doing. So that's why we're using Ditto here today. Now, could I have used the Gyarados? 100%. I could have totally used that Gyarados and it would not have been an issue. Because it is a part of the Dragon group, and so is Charmander. Charmander is also a part of that egg group as well. So we could have done that, but I really wanted to have the shiny Ditto for bragging rights. Okay, so first off, we are going to put the copycat in here. Yes, Retro is typing it all out there for you in the chat. I did actually record the process in order to get the shiny Ditto, so I will be putting that up here in a little while as well. I have the raw footage, and of course I'm also recording the stream, so that way we can actually do that. So hopefully we'll get that video up sometime this weekend. But we're going to try our best here to try to get this shiny Charmander. So here we go. Now, I'm going to be honest. Every time I shiny hunt, I get incredibly distracted and a little bit, bored. I apologize if it looks like I'm bored. I'm going to try everything I can to not be, okay? So I did a little bit of a poll online, and I was asking the other shiny hunters, I'm like, what is it you guys do that helps you guys get through shiny hunting? Because I'm like, I always end up, passing out or falling asleep or something like that. And they're like, Corey, we totally watch stuff on the other end. I'm like, what? How are you guys watching things on the other end? Like YouTube or watching Netflix or something. And it's like, come on, Corey, you're IT. You should be able to figure this out. So I ended up figuring it out. So while I do this for the first little bit, I'm going to have the game audio on for myself, but I will be probably watching the original Pokemon series because that is the nostalgic part of Pokemon. No matter what age you are, you tend to connect back with it, which is kind of interesting. Pokemon's just been such a big part of my life, right? So I'm just like, it doesn't matter what my age is. Oh, holy jeez, we actually got an egg right away. That's good. First time I did this, it was like, Corey, you ain't gonna get an egg for like 10 minutes, dog. It's like, all right. All right, we received our first egg. Now in the bottom left-hand corner, you guys can see where it shows the eggs hatched. Okay, in the stream. That is where I'm going to be putting how many Charmander eggs we actually verified are not shiny. Okay. Yeah, I should definitely do a live playthrough of another Game Boy game here soon. I did one of Crystal way back in the day, and that's actually the game save that I'm using right now. I'm using the game save from my original stream of Pokemon Crystal from like, I don't know, 5 years ago or whatever. 5 or 7 years. Actually, it's probably more than that now. Now, I think when I get this Charmander, do you guys prefer physical or special Charizard? Just out of curiosity. Physical or special Charizard? What are your pros? What are your cons? And we are going to hatch our 8th Charmander here. I almost put 95. Whoops. Hey, it's another regular Charmander. Go figure. You resetted to get Shiny Mewtwo in Let's Go. Nice. Okay, egg number 69. Yes! Yes! Oh my god, yes! Oh, that was so worth it. Oh, man. That was totally unexpected. Honest to God, I had no idea that would be the one. But it's funny that it was number 69. That's freaking incredible. Oh, man. Eight hours, 23 minutes. We get a shiny Charmander from Generation 2. The 69th egg. Oh my god. Maybe I'll continue shiny hunting for Charmeleon and Charmander. But we do have the ability to get them in some other gens, so we might try something else. Who knows? But I do like the idea of having that Gameboy Mark. Should I continue shiny hunting in this generation, or should I try some other generations to get those Pokemon? What do you guys think? Okay, this should take us to, what, 16? Okay, we're going to get our Charmander to evolve into Charmeleon. Now, he should still remain gold, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, okay. Kind of an offset red. But if I'm not mistaken, I think in the other generations, he's still somewhat gold. But I think that's more of a goldy color anyway. Okay, 438, 438. We've got maybe one more battle, and we're going to get that Shiny Charizard, guys. One more battle, and we've got Shiny Charizard. Then I'll throw it out into battle. We'll see it, and then we'll transfer it. Because I'll be honest, I'm getting to the point where I'm about ready to tap out. Ah, Ponyta. I was hoping to be able to battle a Tangela. We can't battle a Ponyta. Not with a fire Pokemon. But I think I'm going to Hyper Beam this thing. If we survive that stomp. Just take it out. Just take it out. Take out that Ponyta. Get it out of here. We got to get it out of this battle. We got to evolve this Charmeleon, guys. 228. And then an additional 456. Yes! Yes! Level 36. Finally. Charmander is evolving. I'm putting the controller down so I don't hit B by accident. But here we go, guys. Shiny Gen 2 Charizard. Purple and green with the white stomach. How awesome is that? Ah, 9 hours, 45 minutes to get this Charizard. Wing attack? Yeah, we're going to teach a wing attack. Okay. We're going to take out Smoke Screen, I think. We're going to keep Scary Face. Okay, let's use this Charizard in a battle. Let's see what this Charizard looks like. Ooh, up against Rapidash. We are definitely not strong enough to go up against Rapidash right now. I don't think. There we go, guys. Shiny Charizard from Gen 2. Yeah, we definitely can't take on Rapidash. We flinched. Okay, can I back out? I can't escape. Okay. You're gonna take out my newly evolved Charizard. Great. Freaking Rapidash. Alright, let's go to the Pokemon Center here. We're gonna somehow take this thing out. Maybe Hyper Beam this thing. If I had Hyper Beam, I should probably teach it to that Charizard. That's awesome for sure. Been a while since I've seen that color. It's been years. Yes, it's been years for me too. Okay, now I'm pretty sure I have to put Charizard into the PC. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put Charizard into the PC. And then we're gonna do some transferring. So I have to get my 3DS, and I'm gonna have to inject the game save back to my 3DS. Okay, guys, take one last look at Shiny Charizard from Gen 2. Because this is the last time you get to see it in the color that it currently is. So we've got purple. It's more of like a grayish color if we get to it, but it's like a shade of purple, and the wings are green. Definitely worth it to me. I feel like it was worth it. As you can see, the special attack is far higher, far superior. So I think we're going to have a special attacker when we transfer it over, but we'll see what happens. Okay, we're going to save, and then I'm going to put it in the PC. And then I've got to hook up. We're going to be using, because I'm using a legit game card on a console, I'm going to be using the Game Boy operator device. I'm going to take the game save off of the cartridge and inject it into the virtual console. And then that way we can use our Pokemon transporter to send it to bank. And then once we get it in bank, we're going to send it to Pokemon Home. And then from Pokemon Hold to Pokemon Sword and Shield. And then after it gets the Sword and Shield and we get the Gigantamax capability onto it, we're going to put it back into Home. And then we're going to send it to Scarlet and Violet. And we're going to change the Gigantamax, or not the Gigantamax, we're going to change the Terra onto that. So this is the Epilogue software. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm going to Data. I'm hitting Backup Save. I'm going to hit Start. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put this onto my SD card for my 3DS. Okay. Charmander should be in the box. Or Charizard should be in the box. Okay, so we've got this on the 3DS now. Okay, next thing we are going to do, we are going to open Pokemon Transporter. Now, I know you guys don't have any audio here, so I'll turn my mic on here a little bit with the game audio from the actual console. We're going to use Pokemon Crystal, connecting with the bank server. I'm pretty sure I'm connected to Wi-Fi. Yep. Oh, I don't want to do box 1. It has to be box 1, does it? Okay, so it takes box 1, so that's unfortunate. I have to actually go in and release all of those Charmander. Or I have to move Charizard back to box 1. Okay, so we have a whole box of Charmanders and one Charizard. Obviously, the Charizard is our Shiny Charizard. Once we transfer this, there's no going back. However, I've got it backed up several times now. We're not going to lose anything. So we're going to transfer. And it's being moved over to Pokemon Bank. Okay, it has been moved to my transport box. So, we back out of this. We go to Pokemon Bank. Now, of course, the Charizard is no longer purple and green because of the fact that it is going to a different generation. Okay, so here is our transport box. So we are actually going to select all of these. We're going to move them all over. Bank box number 1. Okay, we are going to save. And then this is where the fun begins, guys. This is where the fun begins, because we are going to end up using our Switch now. And hopefully you guys will have some audio here when I get this going. Okay, they were moved in. It's going to take some time. So now we can actually put down the 3DS now. So that's cool. So now if we go into our Pokemon home with Pokemon Sword, I should now be able to find all of those Pokemon that I just entered in there. And here's the Charizard we just caught. As you can see up at the very top, I'll make myself a bit bigger here to show you. This is the Gameboy Mark. You can see the Gameboy Mark at the very top. That's what we were going after. Now, the funny thing is that it gave us solar power as the ability. So that's cool. The nature is also adamant. So now I'm kind of questioning, well, do I go for a physical attacking Charizard right now? Because that's a pretty darn good nature. So that's something we'll have to think about. Apparently, seems to have been first met in the Johto region in the good old days on September 24th, 2011. I don't know how it picks that date, but that's definitely wrong. It might be from the Switch. No, the 3DS. It might be from the 3DS. My time might be incorrect on the 3DS. But anyways, it now has the information that we need. So let's get Charizard here. We're going to move him. We're going to put him in box 32. Now if we take a look, let's go to change moves here. What's it get for moves? So we can actually give it quite a bit of attacks here. We can give it Dragon Claw now. We can give it Slash, which is pretty cool. And we've got Wing Attack. So that's neat. That's neat. So let's take a look here. View markings. We can add our own markings to it now. We could release it if we want to. I don't recommend that we do that. But you can see it changed the moves onto us. That's really cool. So now all we have to do now is we have to go get those I was going to say magic. Go get those mushrooms, those Gigantamax mushrooms. I don't remember what they're called. Does anybody else remember what they're called? And Charizard's going to follow us around. I really wish it was still purple and green, but I mean, you guys get the idea. Okay, let's go get these mushrooms. Now, where are these mushrooms at? Oh! I didn't want to fight anything. Nice. We are drastically outnumbered in level. Honestly, I really don't remember where these are. If anybody remembers, let me know. I just remember that they are around somewheres. Oh, there's one. And another one down there too. Okay, so we should now have 3 of these. So let's take a look at our bag. Oop. Okay, we got 3 of them. So now I should be able to fly back to Fields of Honor. And I think we can go in here and cook. I think. Max Soup, yep. Max Soup 2. Charizard. Okay, if this Charizard drinks Max Soup, it'll become capable of Gigantamaxing. I'll use 3 clusters of Max Mushrooms to make Max Soup. Is that alright? Of course. Okay, he is now capable of Gigantamaxing. So if you guys haven't played this game before, I'll show you guys here what Gigantamax Charizard looks like. But the whole scenario here with the Gigantamax if you take a look up by his name up at the very top where it shows Charizard, you'll see a great big X. And that means that he can actually go through and do his Dynamax. Now, in regards to the Dynamax level, how do you guys max that out? I don't remember. How to max out Dynamax level? How are we going to do that? How does that happen? Max Dynamax level? The maximum Dynamax level is 10. Each time a Dynamax candy is used, the Pokemon's Dynamax level is increased by 1. Okay, so we need to use Dynamax candy. And I probably have that. Let's take a look here. Dynamax candy, there we go. Okay, let's take a look at our Pokemon. This should now be maxed. It is. So our Dynamax level is now maxed. So that's cool. We're just going to go into it.
Hi.
Hi. I'm almost done.
I lived.
What?
I lived.
She lived, guys. She lived. Want to say hi? I've been streaming for 10 hours, 37 minutes.
Hi.
The Cookie Queen has made it home. So now we're going to Gigantamax our Charizard. And we're going to go for the G-Max Wildfire. Can you shut the door there for me, please? Thank you very much, babe. Okay, so here we go. The Gigantamax. So this is Gigantamax Shiny Charizard. From Generation 2! From this physical cartridge. Okay? Think about that. We took that Charizard from the egg that we got in Generation 2 Crystal, sent it through Transporter to Bank to home, and now it's in Sword and Shield, Gigantamaxing. Okay? It would be nice... Honestly, it would be nice if Nintendo come out with a way to read these cartridges on your Switch. If they could come up with a method to do that, that would be huge. It would just be a USB-C device. Just something to plug it in the bottom or something. You know what I mean? But that would be wild to be able to take the game information from these physical cartridges and put it onto the Switch. This method that I just did is not always going to be available. Okay? So, it'd be really cool. Sword and Shield. I have too many projects on the go. I have so many projects. Okay, let's see if we can find our Charizard. Level 66 now, which is pretty cool. As you can see, now we have a different mark on this Charizard. Right near my face, you see the Gigantamax mark. So we have the Gigantamax mark, we have the Shiny mark, and then we have the Game Boy mark. That's pretty wicked cool, guys. Like, that's something. That's something else entirely. Okay, we are going to quit here. Now we're going to send it to Scarlet and Violet. Okay, so we're going to take this Charizard. I need to find a box to put him in that is safe. These boxes get updated so much. Okay, box 18. Remember, box 18. Now let's take a look at the moves that we can actually teach it here now. So you can see the moves have reset. So, we're going to give it Dragon Claw. It does not get Wing Attack in this generation, as you guys can see. Which is unfortunate. Inferno is special. I guess Fire Fang? It's the only other physical move it gets. And then, of course, Flare Blitz. Okay, box 18. Here's our Charizard. Check summary. Okay, here's Charizard. Solar Power with Adamant. Has the moves from Pokemon Bank. Let's go to Remember Moves just to check to see if it's the same. And it looks like it is. But as you can see, it's Terra Fire, right? It's also Solar Power. So that actually boosts up the special attack, which we don't have any special attack onto it right now. Do I have some? I have 12 gold bottle caps. So let's fly to Montenevera. Where am I? There we go, Montenevera. We got to talk to the Abomasnow guy. There he is. So, I'm going to show you guys here. So here's Charizard. Here's the stats. But if we take a look at it in the box... Okay. Decent, very good, best, pretty good, best, and best. Okay. What do you say? Do you want one of your Pokemon to go through hyper training? Which one do you want? We're going to choose Charizard. We're going to go for Gold Bottlecaps. We're going to raise all of its stats. I know I didn't have to use the gold one, but I just did anyway. Okay, so here we go. Let's take a look at the box. Take a look at Charizard. Hyper trained, hyper trained, hyper trained. It was 3 IVs. So it had 3 perfect stats. But in order to get the other stats brought up, we had to use the bottle caps. Okay, so there we have it. We have amazing stat, Adamant Charizard. I'm going to save. And then, of course, our effort values are not yet set on this Pokemon. So we are not going to be EV training in this video. Okay, we're not going to do that. I haven't got a moveset yet that I want to teach to this Pokemon. I don't even know if I want to keep it Adamant. But it does get a... If I'm not mistaken, does it get a ribbon? It does not get a ribbon until I take it somewheres. Okay, so we're going to put it back to the box. And we're going to save. And that's it. So once I figure out the moveset that I want to teach Charizard, if I want it to be a mix attacker, like attack and special attack, or if I just want it to be special attack, I'll probably end up minting it if I want to do that. But there you have it, guys. Shiny Charizard. We found the rarest Charmander from Generation 2 in Pokemon Crystal. We got it at 8 hours, 30 minutes. Took 69 egg hatches. We evolved Charmander to Charmeleon and then to Charizard. So we got that purple and green Charizard from Generation 2. We then took the game save, injected it into Virtual Console from this physical Pokemon Crystal Cartridge to the 3DS, transferred it through Pokemon Transporter to Pokemon Bank to Pokemon Home into Sword and Shield, gave it Gigantamax capabilities, maxed the Dynamax bar with Dynamax Candy, put it back into Home, took it to Scarlet and Violet, and then we also went with the Gold Bottlecap that we had from all these VGC competitions we've done, and we now have a 6 IV Shiny Gen 2 Charizard. If you guys enjoyed this, let me know. If you guys are new to the video or you guys are in the stream, post your comments. Let me know if you enjoyed this. If you did, I will definitely try to do more of these in the future. Hopefully not ones that are like 11 hours long. But if I do, we're going to try our best. But I think what I'm going to do, if you guys are enjoying this so much, I'm going to go for a Shiny Living Dex. And then I'm going to try to make movesets out of every Pokemon for competitive play. Okay? Let me know what you'd like to see me shiny hunt in. If you guys want to see me shiny hunt in the old games like I just did with Pokemon Crystal. You want to see me shiny hunt in Game Boy Advance games, 3DS games, DS games, Switch. Let me know. Post your comments. I'd love to hear from all of you. All right, guys. Take care. Have a good one. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.